Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Purpose and Presence Hub. Before we dive into today's incredible topic, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what I'm about to share could completely transform how you learn anything in life. Have you ever wondered why some people master skills in months while others struggle for years and give up? Why do some people pick up a new language, learn an instrument, or build a successful business, while you're still stuck at the beginner level? Most people think it's about talent or natural gifts. That's the biggest lie you've ever been told. There's an ancient Japanese system called Shuhari that separates those who learn from those who master. This three-stage framework has been used for centuries to transform ordinary people into masters of their craft. And today, you're going to learn exactly how it works. Let me tell you a story. In feudal Japan, there was a young man named Yamato who desperately wanted to become a samurai. He wasn't born into a warrior family. He had no connections, no advantages, just an obsession with mastery. At 16, he picked up a wooden sword and started training alone. He practiced every single day before sunrise. 6 months passed, and he hadn't improved at all. His movements felt clumsy, his technique was off, and the more he practiced, the worse he became. Then one day, an old samurai found him training in the forest. The master watched him for a moment and said something that changed everything. "Your feet are wrong. Your posture is wrong. Your breathing is wrong. Everything you're doing is wrong. You've spent a year cementing mistakes, not learning skills. Every failed repetition is teaching your body how to fail better." Yamato was devastated. He had read all the strategy books, memorized the techniques, studied the ancient texts, but none of it mattered because he was trying to build a castle from the roof down. The samurai explained that there's a path to mastery with 3 stages: Shu, obey; Ha, break; Ri, transcend. You cannot skip stages, you cannot rush them, and if you try, you'll spend your life being mediocre at everything. Let's break down these 3 stages because this is where everything changes. Stage 1 is Shu, which means obey. At this stage, you don't think, you don't question, you don't innovate, you just copy. You find someone who has already mastered what you want to learn, and you imitate them with absolute precision. Not close enough, not your own version, exactly as they do it. Yamato's master made him hold a single stance for 10 minutes just breathing. 3 seconds in through the nose, 2 seconds hold, 4 seconds out. For weeks, they only practiced posture and breathing. No fancy techniques, no advanced moves, just the fundamentals repeated endlessly. Yamato's mind screamed that this was boring, that he should be learning real sword fighting, but the master knew something he didn't. Mastery is built in millimeters, not kilometers. After 3 months of perfect repetition, something extraordinary happened. Yamato's body began executing movements without conscious thought. The techniques had migrated from his mind into his muscles. Neuroscientists have discovered that after 300 to 500 correct repetitions, your brain creates an automated pattern. After 1,000 repetitions, the skill becomes unconscious. But if you change the movement before 300 reps, the pattern never forms, and you stay stuck in beginner mode forever. This is where most people fail. They think repetition is for the weak, that they're too smart to practice basics 1,000 times, that they should skip to the creative part. And that's exactly why they never master anything. Shu isn't about being interesting. It's about building foundations so deep that everything else becomes possible. Stage 2 is Hei, which means break. After you've completely mastered the fundamentals through perfect imitation, now you can start breaking the rules. But this isn't rebellion, it's evolution. Yamato spent a year training with a second master who taught a completely different style. Everything contradicted what he'd learned before. Different stance, different movements, different philosophy. At first, his mind short-circuited trying to switch between the two styles. But after 3 months, something clicked. He realized that beneath the surface differences, both masters were teaching the same universal principles: how to move energy efficiently, how to read opponents, how to be present in the moment. The techniques were different, but the principles were identical. This is how you start combining techniques from different sources. You adapt what you've learned to different situations. You understand the why behind every technique so deeply that you can modify them intelligently. But this only works if Shu was complete. If you skip straight to Hei without mastering the basics, you become a confused mess with no real foundation. Stage 3 is Ri, which means transcend. This is where you stop using techniques and the techniques start using you. There's no more conscious decision-making, no more thinking about which move to execute. Your body simply responds perfectly to each moment. After 5 more years of training, Yamato had a breakthrough during a fight against 3 opponents. He didn't remember making a single decision. His body just flowed, blocking, attacking, spinning, dodging, all without thought. It was like watching someone else fight using his body. His master smiled and said, "You finally stopped fighting. Your body just responded." This is Ri. Brain scans of true masters show something fascinating. When they perform their skill, activity in the prefrontal cortex, the area for conscious decisions, dramatically decreases. The skill isn't something they do anymore, it's something they are. The person and the skill become one. Now here's the brutal truth nobody wants to hear. The reason you haven't mastered that skill you claim you want to master isn't lack of talent, time, or resources. It's because you're trying to start at Hei or Ri without doing Shu. You want the results of mastery without paying the price of obsessive repetition. You want to play guitar like a virtuoso, but you don't want to spend 6 months playing boring scales. You want to program like a professional, but you don't want to spend a year copying code from better programmers. You want to build a successful business, but you don't want to study proven models that already work. Our generation has been sold a toxic lie that you should skip fundamentals and go straight to self-expression, that following a master is for the uncreative, that copying is for the weak, and the result is an entire generation who knows a little about everything and nothing about anything. People who start 47 hobbies and master none. The path to mastery has never changed. Zen monks knew it 800 years ago. Samurai knew it 400 years ago. Every true master in any domain knows it. There is no shortcut. There is only Shuhari. So here's what you need to do right now. First, choose one skill that if you mastered it in the next 3 years would completely change your life. Just one. Second, find someone who has already mastered this skill, someone 10 times better than you. Third, enter Shu with complete humility. Copy them with obsessive precision. No adaptations, no creativity, just perfect imitation. Will it be boring? Yes. Will it feel like you lost your identity? Yes. Great. That means you're doing it right. Once Shu is complete, and you'll know when it's complete because techniques will flow without thought, then enter Ha. Study other approaches. Combine techniques, experiment, adapt. Continue for years, not months. One day, without realizing it, you'll be in Re, executing your skill without thinking, creating solutions you've never seen before. A researcher at Oxford University studied 500 masters across different domains and found something unanimous. Every single world-class expert followed the same three-stage pattern: rigorous imitation for 1 to 3 years, experimentation for 3 to 7 years, then intuition and innovation marking true mastery. Not a single exception. No master skipped the first stage, even the so-called natural prodigies. Yamato lived to 87 and trained hundreds of students. On his last day, a student asked about his greatest regret. He said, "My only regret is not starting Shu sooner. I wasted a year trying to teach myself, thinking I was smart enough to find a better way. That wasted year cost me a year of mastery, and an extra year of mastery is a treasure no gold can buy." Yamato was just a village boy with no special talent, no advantages. The only thing he had was willingness to obey completely before questioning, to imitate perfectly before innovating, to master basics before seeking advanced techniques. And this transformed him from a nobody into a master whose name lived for centuries. You have the same choice. The same path is open to you. Do you want to spend the next 5 years looking for shortcuts that don't exist and end up exactly where you are today? Or will you pay the price of mastery and become extraordinary? If this message resonated with you, please hit that like button and share this video with anyone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Pension Path House for more content that transforms how you think and learn. Drop a comment below telling me what skill you're going to master using Shuhari. Write it down, make it real. Mastery is waiting for you, but it won't find you. You have to walk to it step by step, repetition by repetition. Shu, then Ha, then Re. The path is ancient. The path is tested. The path works. Now go out there and start your journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.